Hi guys, come on in. Welcome back to Simply Charlease, where new crafters like to hang out. The last time we got together, we made bouquets, soap bouquets for our moms or for whomever. Remember that? We did this one and we did this one. Let me move this one out of the way so you can see. Okay, so I thought that today we would continue that whole idea of Mother's Day is right around the corner, so why not do something nice for Mom? So look at what we're going to create today. Looky, looky. What do you think? It has the word Mom. It has a white rose leaves. And it has a solid back. This one has a solid yellow back, white rose, and red lettering. And we're going to try to recreate this today, okay? All right, guys, hold on. The supplies that we're going to be using today, we're going to use the shea butter soap block. Okay. We're going to use some clear glycerin soap base. We're going to use as our fragrance oil this time Guardian Angel. Alcohol to pop out bubbles. Something to stir with. Something to measure our fragrance oil. Something to measure our temperature. And we're going to be using 4 different molds today. And I know that's a lot, guys, but it's still a relatively simple soap. It's just that it has a different mold for the lettering, the flower, the leaves, and the soap base, okay? For the soap base, we're going to use this oval mold. We're going to use this little mold for our flower. We're going to use this one for our leaves. And we're going to use this and this for our lettering. Okay, I think that's all of the molds. Now, we're going to need clear glycerin in 4 different containers, and then 1 container with the shea butter. All right, I've cut up about, I think I cut up about, I don't know if I did about 6 ounces, just in case I decide to do 2 soaps, okay, of the clear glycerin, which is going to be the over pour, the top part here. That's what that's for. And then we're going to have 1 ounce of clear glycerin again, and that's going to be for the flower. I'm going to use a pink color this time. Another ounce of clear glycerin, and I'm going to use green for the leaves. Another ounce of clear glycerin, and I'm going to be using red again for the lettering. And another ounce of the shea butter, and that's going to be for the back, for the solid back, okay? Now, I'm going to add I'm going to add a fragrance oil to all of the different containers except the over pour. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, I need to let you know that it's very, very important if you're going to be selling your soaps or giving them as gifts, when you're using multicolors, to use a no bleed colorant. Okay, if you're just doing 1 solid color, it's okay to use just whatever colorant is available. But if you're using more than 1 color, make sure that you purchase no bleed color, because trust me, over time those colors will start to intermingle, and that's not pretty. You can get away with it for a while, but ultimately they will start to run. All right, so let's see. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our clear glycerin for our rose ready. So I'm going to go ahead and melt this, and I'll be back. All right, that took 20 seconds. I'm going to add some pink for the rose. Start with 2 drops and see what we get. Okay, that's a really deep, deep pink. Actually, that's a little deeper than what I wanted. 1 drop would have been enough. Okay. Can you see that? That's a little deeper than I want. So I'm going to add just 1 little piece of shea butter, and it'll lighten it up. I may have to heat it again in order to get it to melt. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and melt this shea butter in here and see if I can't lighten this up a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, that's a little better. Let's see, we got some bubbles in there. All right. And I'm going to use this mold. It's the medium-sized one. How's everybody doing today? Great, I hope. And look, guys, this is first time I've used these little vessels here. Oh, and I'm making a mess, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and pour some roses in the other cavities too. And when they set, I'll clean them up. Okay? Let's see if we can set this to the side. Okay. Can you see my mess? All right. Let me get something to set that soap on so I don't have a mess on my counter. All right, the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to melt the next ounce for our leaves. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, we're going to be using a different color. So I need a clean stirrer. And I forgot to put color in my roses, but I'm going to put some in my leaves. Did I say color? I meant fragrance. Ooh, and it does smell good. Boy, I tell you, I'm just not used to working with these little teeny tiny vessels, and so I am making a mess, but hey, it's all about the outcome, right, guys? All right, and I'm using my green, no bleed colorant. All right, I'm gonna start with, well, I was trying to start with 1 drop, but 2 fell. Oh, that's not nearly as dark as I wanted. Okay. All right. This Guardian Angel really smells good. And you know, you may find in some instances with the no bleed colorants that you have to use a little bit more. Not always, but sometimes you have to use a little bit more. Okay, so that's ready. And we're going to actually use these two small leaves, but I'll probably make larger leaves too, just to use some of this soap. Okay. All right. Ooh, that smells good. I think I'm just going to do the Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna just do the 2. Now I'll set this over here. And let's move this over to set. And next is our letters. Now I'm gonna go ahead and melt this, and then we'll add our color and our fragrance oil. I'll be back. All right, guys, let's add some fragrance oil. Well, let me check the temperature, because that's, yeah, we're good. And let's add, oh, I need a different color, so I need a different stir. All right. I want these to be a nice rich red so that the color pops. I'm trying not to stir so hard so that I don't make such a mess. Okay, put one more drop in there. I'm gonna make sure that it's nice and deep red. All right, that looks good. And it smells amazing. Okay, we're gonna use these 2 molds, and I'm just gonna go with Mom again. Now you could put the person's name, you know, whatever words you want. So I'm just gonna go, let's see, can you see that? Let's this way. I just need the M, the capital M, and the O and the M on this one. Now, you're gonna over pour, because these little cavities are so tiny, and it's okay. I'll show you how to clean it up once it sets. So just aim for the color, the letter that you want, and just make sure that that's filled. And if anything else gets filled, just save those letters for another project, because I got K and P and R and S, a whole bunch of letters. But I'll be able to use them for something else, I'm sure. And over here, let's see, can you see? I'm shooting for the M and the O. As long as I make sure that I get some in the M and the O, I'm happy. Okay. All right. So we have our rose, our leaves, and our letters. And I just have to wait for the letters to set. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move that over. And the next thing that we're gonna do is put a very thin layer of clear glycerin on the bottom, so that the letters are not on top of the soap, but embedded in the soap, okay? So I'm gonna melt my clear glycerin, and I'll be back. All right. The clear glycerin is melted. I'm not adding any color or fragrance oil. And all we're going to do, layer 1 is going to be a very thin layer of this clear glycerin. And we're doing this because we don't want the letters and the flowers to be on top of the soap. We want it to be embedded in the soap. Okay. Now we'll just have to let that set. It doesn't have to set completely, but it has to set enough to where when you put your letters on it and your rose on it, it doesn't fall through. So let's wait for this to set. I'll be back. So our embeds are set. Let's start with the lettering, because that's what we're gonna put in the soap next. And look at this, guys. It looks a solid mess, right? And all we want from this one is M. And see that? It's a solid mess. And we want the O and the M. But let me show you how to clean them up. Let's see. Can you see? Yes, I think you can. I have a single edge razor blade here. And I want that M. So I'm just going to lay it on the side. Let's see. Can you see this? And just work it Work it under to clean up all that excess that we don't want. And for right now, I'm just going to focus on the M. I'll clean the rest of it up later. Okay. Let's see. Try to keep the blade laying on as flat as you can. All right. And then let's pop this M out and see what we got. And can you see that, guys? Let me see. I'll put it on something white. Maybe you can see it better. See that M? And if it needs any further cleaning, you can do that too. But you can get that letter just by using that razor blade. Okay, so as a matter of fact, this M has a little, has a little bit, do you see that? So let me clean that off. Okay, all right. And now we want to get the O and the M out of the next one. And we do the same thing. Just lay your blade down. All right, and that cleaned that one up nicely. Let's go to the O. All right. And your excess, you can just save it for something else. Okay, let's get that M. I don't want to get too anxious here and tear something up. All right, there's the M. And there's the O. All right. See that? The M and the O. And I'll take a closer look at it. The M has a little bit of a tail on it that I'm going to clean up. Okay. And so does the O. All right. Okay, I'll set that to the side and I'll get those other letters out later. All right. So we've poured one layer of the clear. Let's see, this is still a little warm. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put the letters Mom down. Make sure that you spray what you've already put in the soap and spray your letters. Okay. Got that M. Let me spray my O. And these are handcrafted soaps, guys, so they may not be in perfect alignment, but you can take pride in the fact that you did this, right? Okay. And I'm sure that in addition to, or instead of Mom, I'm focused on what that MOM looks like, and I think that's okay. I'm gonna let it go at that. But somebody's name, you know, in this size, it would have to be kind of a short name, but a name nonetheless. All right, let's unmold our rose, and you see it needs a little cleaning up, right? Okay, so we're gonna take our single edge blade and we're just gonna clean that up. Clean that up. All right, it's just that simple. All right, let's spray our embeds, spray our rose, and then situate it where we want it. Okay, let's see. I think we have Let me see what kind of temperature we have on this. That's kind of, yeah. I might be able to work with this. I'm going to go ahead and pour my clear over my letters and do it very slowly, guys, to start, because you don't want your letters to move. You don't want your flower to move. Okay? I'm going really slow, guys. And you want to go all the way, you want to cover all the flower, and then you're going to put your leaves behind your flower. And I think everything is staying in place. I'm kind of holding my breath, guys. Holding my breath. Okay. All right, let's get those bubbles out of there. All right. Let's see. I think I need to put a little bit more. Okay. Get rid of the bubbles. And we need to let this set a little bit so that the flowers don't, the leaves don't fall through when we put them in. But I will go ahead and unmold the leaves. Okay. And one of the leaves needs a little bit of cleanup. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to wait for this to set a little bit and I'll be back. Guys, I thought I had the camera running and I didn't. But the only thing that I did was I laid my leaves, okay? So I've melted some more of the clear glycerin. Let me check the temperature. We're at 150. Spray bubbles and that'll cool it down some. I try not to pour over embeds at a higher temperature than maybe 148. See, that cooled it right down to 144. All right, so I'm gonna pour over my leaves now. Oops, making a mess. And I want to leave just enough room so that I can put my bottom on it, okay? All right. Let's see. Yep. Trying to cover those leaves completely. And I think I have enough space left. All right, guys, so now we just have to wait for this to set, and then we'll see what the finished product looks like. Oh, no. Then we'll pour our final layer, which will be the white shea butter. And I'm going to add fragrance to that. All right, I'll be back. All right, so my embeds and my overpour is set. And now all that's left to do is to add this final back portion. I'm going to add a little fragrance oil to that. Give it a little stir. Man, it's already starting to harden. And I've said this time and time again, working with small portions of soap is harder to me or for me than working with batches, big batches. But we press on. All right, let's see. It looks like it might have some clumps in there, so let me hold on to it. That's just, whoa, yeah, that's trying to, oh. Okay. All right. That's good. Let's spray it. It did have one little clump there, and I can clean that up, which is what I will do. Okay, guys, all we have to do now is wait for this to set, and then I'll come back with the finished product, okay? I'll be back. All right. This is the one that we made together. Not the prettiest, but it's not too bad. I need to trim that back. Okay. I had some pieces left over, so I made this one. Okay. And this one, I just had some pieces left over, so I just kind of threw them in the mold. Okay. And this was my sample that I started, or I should say my test soap. And then whatever soap base that I had left over, I just poured it in the mold. I mean, this is nothing pretty, but it's usable soap. So I'll just put this one in my shower and I'll use it. So, okay, guys, we are done. All right. Make yourself. Oh, I want to remind you, please, 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 if you make these multicolored soaps, make sure that you use no bleed colorants, okay? And all of the molds that I use will be down in the description box. Go all the way down to the bottom, and that's where that information will be, okay? If you want to purchase those same molds. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.